Today I started a GoFundMe to give homeless people buzz balls, and if we reach enough money, I might throw in a geek bar in there. Today we're playing Minecraft again. Yesterday I did stream, so to get ahead of what I had to do, because actually since it's a new week, 5th week since I've been making these videos daily, which is kind of crazy to think about. We did have skeleton horses. I did keep one of them. I don't know why this one is here, but yeah, so I do have a skeleton horse. They're kind of slow though, but it is what it is. They're pretty cool. So today's video topic, revolves around growth, and that's growth in many things. Growth as a person, growth in your career. It involves all of that. Right, horse? Mira, the horse is here. It's kind of something that I was talking about yesterday on stream, that I've been, and I've talked about this in previous videos as well. Well, I've been pretty stubborn with how I want to make it, in life, or make it in like social media and stuff like that. Because I never followed the trends. I never really like following the meta, if you will. And it's good, but it's also bad, because depending on what you do will depend on your growth, right? On like, again, social media. But I've never really been one to clip farm or to say outrageous things, because I can clip farm it and then like slow down the punchline. Like, I think we should give homeless people buzz balls, like stuff like that. Like, I've seen it, but it's not really, to me, it feels inauthentic, because I'm like, it's not hot, it's not, you know what I mean? I don't know, it ain't me, right, zombie? Sorry, I was communicating with the zombie. I do gotta add torches or something. Scorn Boy suggested that I put up, what was it? It was glowstone and something, moss, to hide it. So I don't have to spam torches. That's not a bad idea, though. I'll be honest, I don't even remember how to make glowstone. I could look it up. It's not hard. Right, skeleton. Horse. Pena. The horse is here. But yeah, so... Ooh, that's a hard beat drop right there. Some things in life will take longer to get. A lot of the, especially when it comes to social media, a lot of people forget that it's about luck. It's not about how good you are. I mean, it is, but also it's about luck. I think about it, because from a music industry perspective, because that's kind of what I did for many years. I think about the people that made it during like the Michael Jackson era and things like that, where you had to rely on a label to say, oh, you're actually good enough that we can sign you. And a lot of the times you have people that rejected great musicians for years until they finally got that break. And like, obviously we hear about those stories where they finally got their big break after them pretty much almost begging just to be signed, to have their stuff out there. It makes you wonder how many people had the potential but just never made it. They just never had the opportunity to make it. We now live in an era, in a time where you can make it happen on your own. You can become a successful musician on your own. You don't need, I mean, you kind of do, because they kind of hold the monopoly over everything, but you don't particularly need a label, to make you something. You can do it yourself. Again, it's a bit harder, because trust me, they have the monopoly on everything, on all the good playlists, on the chart positions. It's just how it is. That's just the game. It's money based. That's just how it is. But like back then, you had to get lucky that they would even say, you know what, we'll sign you for a project. You know what I mean? With content creation, it's just about getting the right video at the right time, shown to the right target audience, and then you start to build your audience from there. But sometimes it's not, especially nowadays with how hyper engaging content is. It's not particularly like that all the time now. You know, you like, if you have enough money, you right now could probably fund a channel where, you know, you have highly edited, hyper engaging content and stuff like that, you know, and you do well. Or like doing short form content creation is just like catching your attention, almost clickbaity in a way. You know, you just regurgitating information that you found online. I'm not hating on it. I also don't particularly like it either. It just feels like it's like nothing burger of content is what I like to call it, right? There's a lot of, I also like to call the creators that do that, and maybe a lot of you guys won't like this term, but I'll call it slop tubers. You know, there's many different ways of that. People that just regurgitate information, talk about drama, content creators, and a lot of people could fall into this banner, maybe even me, depending on how you see it. But the point I'm making is that you have a lot of creators that essentially do content that is really nothing. You know what I mean? Like top 25 facts you missed about this game, and some of the information that they give is just really basic thing that, like, it's only new to somebody that doesn't actually play the game. I have to sneeze. Give me a minute, a second. Thank you. Thank you. If you didn't say bless you, I'm sending a nuclear missile to your house. Yeah. But you know, it's just regurgitated information. Again, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. I'm not gonna judge you for the content that you want to make. I'm just saying that that's just how it is. You know, it's content that doesn't really give anybody anything. You know, it's just trashy content. And again, you do what you want to do. Same thing with music, right? You know, if you want to do whatever is mainstream and you want to do that, you know, either because you like it or because you're more likely to get richer from it, or, you know, get some type of recognition. Wait, how you say that word? You know what I'm trying to say. I think. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Do you feel me? What was I saying again? Oh yeah. Whatever you want to do, that's on you. You know, nothing wrong. I don't really think there's anything inherently wrong with wanting to do, you know, whatever is popular. I think most people do that, right? Like with TikTok and anything. I'm just really stubborn. I'm a really stubborn person, to my detriment, because like I said, like I don't like doing the meta, and it's a bit hypocritical though, because on my main channel I kind of do that, but not really. Like I don't really care about testing the things out. Like I don't care about it being super engaging and having something that's like, you know, this and that. And by the way, I'm not being pretentious about it, though it might appear as I am. I'm not. Again, I keep saying this. It's okay if you want to make that type of content where it's just like hyper engaging and all that, because it will do better for you on the algorithm. I get it. I completely understand why you'd be more inclined to do that and not do what I'm doing, because for me, I have to keep yapping and hope that you are interested enough in whatever the hell I'm yapping before you click off this video. My retention rate is horrible. I'm cooked. But again, like I've said this from the beginning, I'm doing this for me. Whether I do well or not, so be it, you know. But some people, obviously, they see content creation as a get rich quicker scheme, or, you know, or even with music. Like again, like, you know, I do music. I've been around music like music creators for years now, longer than I've been around content creators, you know. So I can see the lens of a musician. A lot of people where I come from, they want to rap because they want to, you know, they want to escape or move out the hood, is pretty much, but they're not really putting in the effort, you know. And it becomes less about the art of music, and it's more about, oh, hopefully I get enough money to, you know, leave this kind of area. And I'm like, I get it, but why should you deserve it? You know what I mean? And you know, when it comes to music, it's not a game of. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do that. It's not about who deserves it. You're like in life, you're gonna see people that have stuff that you would say, yeah, they don't really deserve it, but it is what it is, right? That happens a lot. That's kind of ass. It's okay. I should probably put like, you know, I'll try to make it look more realistic. You know, like it wasn't carved out; it was more natural. But I suck at building. You guys don't. You know what? No, I'm not even gonna mention it. Let's just say that I tried building a custom tree. It did not go well. It looked like something else. Let's just say that. But yeah, growth. I think for me, it's kind of weird because I didn't expect to get a lot from this, but I have gotten subscribers, right? And I have someone that is active on my channel, Scorn Boy. Shout out to Scorn Boy. You know, it's weird. You know, I didn't think it would grow, and it's not like it's growing like crazy. Like I said, like if I actually decided to do like the meta, I decided to do them like top 10 YouTube facts, like I'm sure I will grow beyond what I am now in less than a month. I kind of did that, you know what I mean, with my main channel. Like it just took the Spotify Lynn video, and I went from like what 70 subscribers, no, less than that, like 40 subscribers to 230. And if I kept doing content like that, I'm sure like right now I would have had a high number. And I'm confident that the next video that you'll see on that main channel, which is actually almost 4 hours long, you know, I'm confident that video will take me a bit higher. I don't know how much, and I don't want to have unrealistic expectations that's gonna like make me upset if I don't get them because of how long I spent on that video. But yeah, like I understand that. But with this, it was just more of like me yapping, and maybe it could use some editing here and there. But I just like the idea of me yapping, and that's kind of how I see it. You know, we're 13 minutes in. Let me really talk about growth. Anything that you try to do right now, right? Especially starting at ground zero, you probably most likely won't see any results for a long period of time. And that's where a lot of people are tested. You know, you're still wondering, trader. Wait, what? Where's the trader at? Hold on. Yo, where's the trader at? What happened to the trader? I mean, sorry, trader. I think he got packed by a zombie. That is unlucky. Oh well. It be what it be. Is this good enough? Anything that you try now will take time, because especially if you're new to it, because a lot of things take time. And anything creative, I think people forget that you're not gonna make it as fast. I think other creators make it seem like it's doable, and again it is, but then it isn't at the same time. You know, I've always kind of thought about, okay, I can make the type of slop content, I could do that, but what about that is gonna keep me here on this you know, on YouTube for a long period of time? It definitely is not gonna be content where I'm like talking about top 10 facts about Clash Royale you may have missed or stuff like that. Like, you don't care about me, you care about those videos, you know. I keep talking about myself. What am I doing? Sorry. Let me talk about the actual topic of the video, growth. You know, let me just put this here. Is that gonna, okay, that's fine. So I need both water, but I mean I need both buckets for water. Don't be disappointed if something that you try doesn't perform well. That is something that is a normal occurrence, you know. And it's gonna take a while at first, you know. That's something that I've understood again with music. Like I know like it's kind of weird because it's not like I've already made it, so like I have room to talk in terms of content creation. But if you remember, I've made music. I've been a musician, so I know what it's like to get a lot of numbers, this influx of streams, and money, and then have times where it goes really low, and then you're looking at those numbers and you're like, damn, like this really sucks. Like, why am I slowing down? But it's progressive, and sometimes I forget that music does have, or just stuff that you put out there may resonate with somebody in ways that you don't even imagine. Like, I think it was a while ago, somebody had DM me because I stopped dropping music, to do content and stuff like that. Kind of separate myself from that in a way. Have two different things that I do, and music I won't say I put it to the side because I still work on music, but I just don't release it publicly anymore. I don't have any iron anymore. Oh, I do. Okay. And it had somebody that DM'd me and said that they loved my music and asking if I was gonna come back, and they even said that, like, again, I don't really know how to feel about this because it's weird to me. Like, it doesn't feel real, but they said that my music saved them, and I didn't understand how that works. I just said I appreciate that. Kind of busy with life, and I've been going through a lot of stuff where, like, working on anything creative has been kind of difficult. You know what I mean? I know that I probably don't seem like it, but life has been really rough for me. I'm just living in the moment at the moment, trying to get through that. But yeah, so anything creative has been a bit of not my main focus, but it made me think, right? It's like I didn't think that my music would ever have that kind of effect, on people. I just didn't think that that's something that I would do, right? And I guess with these videos, I guess just because of what I talk about, some people, I don't think I'm gonna save anybody, but I think it's more about, like, they resonate with you. You know what I mean? A lot of these things that I talk about are basic topics. I'm not talking about the topic of today's video. I'm sorry. Why am I not talking about the topic of today's video? I am so all over the place. I feel like I would have been a good podcaster. They just yap about everything. I'm sorry. Why did I talk about that? Now I feel dumb. I feel dumb. I am dumb. I low-key want to cut all of that little segment, but it is what it is. I don't do that. I don't cut things on videos. Let me... Wait, no, I need food, right? Yeah. What time is it? It's 19 minutes. I genuinely was contemplating cutting that bit, but you know what? It shows imperfection, isn't it? It is what it is. Mainly what I was trying to say is whatever you put your mind into, just do it consistently as much as you possibly can. I always say that at the end of every single video, and I mean that. I don't just say it just to say it. It's okay if you fail. It's okay if you get less. Like if you don't do well in certain times. That's just part of the game. People will grow at different rates, different speeds. That's just what it is. You're gonna have peaks. You're gonna have dips. It's tough sometimes because obviously you look at the numbers and you're like, whoa, I'm doing really good right now. But when you start to go low, you get really demotivated. You're like, what am I doing wrong? But that's just part of it all, just, I guess, have fun and enjoy what you're doing. And don't be demotivated by, lows. If you want to grow as a, in terms of your career, you also got to think about, okay, well, what am I doing to deserve it in a way, right? Like, you also have to put in the effort. You have to put in the work, so you can safely say, oh yeah, I deserve it. Nobody really deserves anything in life, but what I'm trying to say is, like, some people want something but don't put in the effort to become good at it. right? That's something that is very, very common. And especially like with social media or content creation, you know, you have people that want something, you know, but don't really put in the effort for it, you know. And there again, there is varying levels to it depending on what you're doing. Some things you might need to have crazy hyper engaging editing, like, you know, like any text that appears on screen has to be accompanied by a sound, kind of like Johnny Test. I don't know if you guys remember that. Like, you guys remember, like, you know, you're probably too young, but if you know Johnny Test, like literally every single second they had this like slap sound. That's pretty much what YouTube is nowadays, right? Like, you know, if that's what you do, then it's gonna take a lot more effort to do it. Like with my main channel video, that took a lot of effort, a lot. But with these, the effort is just uploading every single day. It's not really hard. To me, it's not hard. It's not difficult to upload every single day, you know. But just do it consistently, and you should see the growth over time. I just realized this is gonna look horrible, but honestly, I am ready to move on to different stuff. So if I don't finish this today, which I probably won't, I'm just gonna go ahead and just leave it there, and then finish it sometime. I'll probably on the stream, like next, like the weekend. What am I doing? I was gonna get water. Why? Oh no, actually I need food. I need food. That's been the problem all this time. I'm thinking I want to go back to home base or home and slaughter as many cows as possible so I can get their delicious meat. So I can actually, you know, have enough food. Cause this is always a problem. I have no food. Do they have hay bales? Hey, you guys have hay bales? No. Huh. Oh, unemployed villagers there. Let's go. Oh no, yes, I do. Whoa, that's a lot. Hold on. Hold on. Don't mind if I do. Hey, Iron Golem, I'm borrowing. I'm borrowing. Look, I built the bridge, I built the forest. I deserve this. Alright? So don't be stingy. I can't even run anymore. Growth takes time. That's really the main point of this video, that it takes time. You know, I have yet to see the growth, if you will, but I just started this channel, if you think about it, and I understand that the content that I make is not going to appeal to a wider audience. You know, it's not going to, which I understand why. You know, I have moments where I stay quiet, I have moments where it's not like very edited. I have moments when I go into tangents like I did earlier, and I'm not making much sense. I understand, you know, but I'll just keep doing it. You know, it's actually really, really fun to make content. At least for me it is. I really do enjoy the content that I make, you know, on this channel, just because like I just talk about real stuff. I talk about my life, you know, and you just watch it. You just hear me yap about everything. Today's video is a bit of a slow one. I feel like I didn't really talk about the subject properly, which is kind of upsetting to me, because it was one of those where I feel like it's kind of important to a lot of people, and something that a lot of people need to hear from somebody that's been trying something for years. I've been trying to make something out of, you know, myself for years. Like, it's gonna take some time to really, you know, it's gonna take time to get anything you want. You know, that's how it is. You know, whether that is growth in terms of your career, and if you want to do like content creation, or just life. You know, if you want to do better in life, want to be a better person, you know, that takes time. Honestly, nah, I should have kept. Yeah, I'm gonna re-add all of this, and just, yeah, that's, yeah. I was gonna try to have it run through one line, but I just realized it's gonna look horrible. So I'm not gonna do this now. I think starting tomorrow, I'm gonna just start building a house here, and then after that, I'm gonna move in here completely. So for now, I'm gonna just leave it like this, and during the weekend when I stream, I'm gonna fix this and I'm gonna completely finish this, and that would be it for this. The forest, I'm happy where it's at. Once I get enough glowstone, I will add some lighting to it. There's some trees burning over there. Love to see that. Gotta make sure it doesn't spread completely. I really don't like this. There we go. That should be fine. Yeah, that's fine. I'll leave it like that. Cursed tree. Slow day today. Sorry, it's Monday. Start of the week. You know how it be. I hope that you have... Wait, what? Sorry. Again, slow day. If you have a dream, follow it. Time is moving past. It's gonna leave you behind. You know, consistency is about doing it every single day, as much as you possibly can. Whatever you want to do in life. Some days you do more, some days you do less. You know, always strive to do more, but don't beat yourself up if you do less. You know, you're gonna mess up from time to time, like me. Like, there's times where I don't do much, and I'm like, you know what? I'll do more tomorrow. Like, don't think that you failed and that's it. You know, if you have a slow day, you have a kind of like today. I feel like today feels like I had a slow day, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, this video sucks. I shouldn't even put it out. I mean, it does, but fuck it. You know what I mean? The goal is to record a video every single day, and that's what you're gonna get. I'm sorry, it's not a great video. I might actually low-key want to revisit the topic tomorrow, but I don't know. I'll see. The point is that you just keep trying. You just keep trying. You'll get better. And believe in yourself. Believing in yourself takes time. That's normal. You know, especially if you constantly doubt yourself, it's gonna be hard to believe in yourself. But just keep trying, and you can make good things happen. It's about the mind. The power of the mind is really strong. So I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day.